What's going on, guys? Tony here with VentureTube, chilling in my garage, taking a little break from building you guys motors. I got a request from a subscriber asking me to show different types of fishing knots. We all know there's a ton of different fishing knots, but I'm going to share with you guys the ones I tie the most and find the most useful. I'm going to give you the when to tie, the why to tie, and how to tie. So here it goes. So what we have here, this black cord here is going to represent your fishing line. This wrench is going to represent the eye on your hook. So number one knot we're going to learn to tie is the Palomar knot. So when do I use the Palomar knot? I use it probably on 90% of everything I throw. Texas rig, top water, spinner baits, you name it. Pretty much this knot will apply. So let's see how it's tied. So take your tag end of your line, place it through the eye of your hook. Get you some slack, go back through the eye of the hook. You're going to make a simple overhand knot, just like that, pass through the loop. So you see what we got there, and then this loop here will pass over the hook. So might be kind of difficult to do with this wrench, but I got stretch cord so it would go over the hook. And of course, with fishing line, you want to wet this knot, wet your line before you cinch it down. And there you go. I'm not going to tighten it real tight, but that's essentially a Palomar knot. Then you would clip your tag in and leave a little bit of line on there. If the fish didn't see this 100 feet coming off, he's not gonna see that. You don't have to cut it right up on the knot. So that's the Palomar knot. And if you're using fluorocarbon, you don't have to cinch this down. You don't want to lose your knot strength. It doesn't have much stretch. Fluorocarbon does not have much stretch, so there's no need to just tighten it down. The fish will tighten it down for you. That's the Palomar knot. So like I said, the Win, I pretty much tie it on just about everything. It's a very strong knot. You have double the line going through the eye of your hook, so it's very strong, and that's how you tie it, the Palomar knot. Okay, number two, the Snell knot. When do I tie the Snell knot? When I'm flipping and pitching, and generally I'm flipping and pitching really heavy cover. I'll explain more of that after I show you how to tie it. First, okay, this is representing your hook eye again. Let's say the hook is coming out and the bend comes out this way. So you want to make sure you pass through the eye of the hook in the same direction that the hook point's coming out of. So if it's coming out on this side, you're coming in through this direction. If it was coming out on this side, you're coming in through this direction. Make sense? So we're going to assume that the hook point is coming out this direction. Okay? We're going to run the line through the eye of the hook, bring it down. Make sure you give yourself plenty of slack to work with. You're going to create a loop, lay it down on the shank of the hook, pinch it, and with our tag end, make sure you got plenty of tag end. We're going to go around that line and around the shank of the hook, working our way up toward the eye about 7 times. So you're going to go 1. And you want to hold the loops down with your index finger so they don't get all scattered on you. It makes for a clean knot. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's our seven loops. And we're going to take that tag in and we're going to pass it through that first loop that we created. And once you've done that, you want to take your main line, cinch it down, and let go of this loop, pull it, and there you go. And you would slide this knot up toward the eye of the hook. Now normally the hook will have some type of a stopper for it as well, and then you would just simply clip your tag in. Okay, so let me push this aside for a second and let me show you a flipping rig. Okay, I have 65-pound braid here with a bobber stopper, a 3/4 ounce tungsten weight, and a flipping hook. This flipping hook has a tiny little barb here specifically designed to be able to tie a Snell knot to. This knot won't slide down and it's not going to slide up because of the eye of the hook. But why tie the Snell? Why not just tie it directly to the eye? Well, here's the magic. As you can see, when I drop this weight, what happens to the hook? It kicks out to the side. What that does is it's really going to increase your hookup ratio, because when you're flipping and pitching into heavy cover, you're going to need every amount of that hook in that fish's mouth to be able to get him out. So imagine my hand is the bass and he eats this and that weight stuck in his mouth. Look what happens to that hook as I pull on the line. You see how it kicks out? Let me hold it like this. See how it kicks out in every direction. See how it kicks out like that? Kicks out like that. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but it's kicking out. Every fish that I've hooked usually is hooked in his gill plate. You don't have to tie this only on flipping with heavy stuff. You could do this on a traditional Texas rig, but it's best to do it on a hook designed for flipping and pitching, a flipping hook. This is a 5/0 trocar. But that's the Snell knot. That's pretty much the only time I tie it, is when I'm flipping, pitching, heavy cover. It's a knot that's been around forever. It's probably the knot that your grandpa taught you how to tie. It's really simple, the clinch knot. And there's also the improved clinch, but I honestly don't see any improvement in it. I just go with the standard clinch knot. Now, when to tie the clinch knot is up to you. To me, I have broke off using the clinch knot. You might want to use the clinch knot on lighter lines. I use it fly tying a lot when I'm fly fishing. If I'm drop shotting and I don't have a drop shot weight where I can just simply slip the weight on the line and it pinches so you don't have to tie a knot at all, I'll tie a simple clinch knot. So here's the clinch knot. Here's your hook. Tag in through the eye of the hook, come out, spin the hook about 7 times, take your tag in, go back through that loop right at the top of the eye, spit on it, and cinch it down. There you go. Simple as that. Those 3 knots are 95% of the knots I tie. Now, I do throw fluorocarbon, I do throw braid, and sometimes you have to connect fluorocarbon to braid. So this black line will represent my braid coming off of my reel, and this is my fluorocarbon leader. So I'm going to tie what is called, I think it's called a blood knot if I'm not mistaken, but who cares about the terminology as long as you know how to do it. So what you want to do is you want to get plenty of each length, like so. Pinch it in the middle. You're going to take your fluorocarbon and you're going to wrap your fluorocarbon around your braid about 4 times. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to take that fluorocarbon and you're going to pass it in between the braid and the fluorocarbon where you started. So you're going to go just like that. You're going to pinch it. You're going to hold that steady. You're going to take your braid and you're going to wrap your braid around the fluorocarbon 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to take that tag end on your braid and go right back through that loop where your fluorocarbon came through, and you want to make sure you're going through the opposite direction. So the end result, you should have your tag ends going 180 degrees from each other. Then when you tighten it down, just pull on your tag ends in your main line, and you should get clean loops on both sides. It may not be too clean on this one because I am using elastic on one side, but let's see how it comes out. And there you go. You can see this knot is smaller than this side again because this black is elastic, so it really cinched down, but it would look just like this side. But all you would do from there is you would clip these 2 tag ends, and there's your knot. Very strong knot. It goes through the guides good. And yeah, there are better knots than this for connecting fluorocarbon to braid, but in my experience, they take a little bit to tie. They take longer to tie on the water. than I would like to spend time doing. And usually I have this all done before I even get on the water anyway. But if you do break off, or for whatever reason you need to change your leader, this is a good knot to know. So there you go, guys. 4 knots, right? The Palomar knot, the Clinch knot, blood knot, and the Snell knot. That's pretty much all I use, and I've thrown every technique out there, and it's worked for me. Just remember to, if you're using fluorocarbon or lines with low stretch, you really don't have to cinch those knots down, and make sure to wet your line before you do cinch it down. Besides that, just practice these knots and you should be good on the water. I hope this helped you out, guys. I know that wasn't the best visual representation, but I just hope it gave you an idea of how to tie these knots, and at least you maybe learned something from it. And you don't have to know a ton of knots to be a fisherman and get out there and try a bunch of different techniques. Keep it simple, and life will be easy. All right, guys, thanks for all your likes and for all your comments. You guys are doing great. We're coming up on 10,000 subscribers, and they just keep going up. I'm super excited about that, and looking forward to the future, guys. So y'all stay with me, and I really appreciate it. God bless. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Come on.